Hello and welcome once again to Elections on My Plate. Coming to you this week from Assam. We're in the city of Dibrugarh by the banks of the mighty Brahmaputra. This is a fascinating election in Assam. Many political observers believe it's two elections in one. One that's being fought in Lower Assam where the Congress AIUDF left alliance has the advantage of possibly even sweeping the Muslim-dominated constituencies of the area. The other is being played out here in Upper Assam, where the BJP hopes to consolidate on a sense of Ahomya Hindu identity. But is Assam politics only about religious polarization? What about the core issue of development? Are there new fault lines emerging in Assam, particularly in the backdrop of the Citizenship Amendment Act? We're going to try and find out on our journey through Dibrugarh and beyond. Come with me. Now, Dibrugarh wakes up early because it's sunrise almost at 5 a.m. But the early morning walkers by the banks of the Brahmaputra are few and far between. You're a sleepy city. आप लोग देर से उठते हैं, जल्दी उठते हैं?
नहीं आज संडे है ना, थोड़ा लेट हो गया, लेकिन सुबह ही उठते हैं.
Good morning. Are you going to vote in the elections?
Yeah, surely.
Is there any leader, anything that inspires all of you in Assam? Is there an issue or a leader?
The leader, obviously, Himanta Biswa Sarma.
Himanta Biswa Sarma is the leader. You think he's dynamic?
Yeah, surely.
Huh?
Surely.
So you want him as the chief minister, not Sonowal, your local homegrown boy here in Dibrugarh?
Not as a chief minister or as a specific seat, but yeah, as a leader, Sarvanand Sonowal as well as Himanta Biswa Sarma, they are doing a great job.
असम में सबसे बड़ा इश्यू क्या है लोगों के सामने? आप लोग सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा क्या है?
मुद्दा रोजगार बेरोजगारी है सर.
बेरोजगारी है. तो सरकार ने 5 साल में कुछ किया है या नहीं किया है?
बहुत ऑब्वियसली इतना डेवलप नहीं हुआ
है. गुड मॉर्निंग, कैसे हो?
अच्छा है.
कैसे है भाई साहब?
एकदम अच्छा है.
हाउ आर यू?
फाइन, वी आर फाइन.
क्या होगा इस इलेक्शन में? कांग्रेस बीजेपी कौन आगे है
इलेक्शन में?
हाँ,
देश का जैसा है तो बीजेपी आगे है.
तो तरुण गोगोई की सरकार बेटर थी या सोनोवाल की सरकार?
सोनोवाल का सरकार बेटर है.
सोनोवाल की सरकार बेटर है. क्या किया
तो सब कुछ ही सब देख रहा है. हमारा जो अच्छा लग रहा है हम आपको बोल रहा है कि हमारा सब अच्छा लग रहा है.
आप बताओ, सोनोवाल की सरकार बेटर, गोगोई की सरकार बेटर?
देखिए, ऐसे देखने का जो दिखाई दे रहा है सड़क और लाइट और नाला और ये जो आधार जो भी है वो सब में तो दिखने में ठीक है. लेकिन एक कॉमन पीपल क्या चाहता है अपने घर पे कि आपका राशन का दाम कम हो, गैस का दाम कम हो, और जिसका बाइक है, गाड़ी है, वो चाहता है कि आपका पेट्रोल डीजल का दाम कम हो. 60 रुपया से 100 रुपया हो गया है. वो कम हुआ है कि ज़्यादा हुआ है वो आप ही लोग जानते हैं, सब जानता है.
फिर कमी भी हो रहा है. गैस का दाम बढ़ रहा है.
10 रुपया बढ़ा के आप 1 रुपया घटा दिए तो आदमी बोलेगा कि घटाया है, लेकिन जो बढ़ा था उसका क्या होगा?
तो आज की तारीख में मैं देख रहा हूँ कि आप तो ऑपोजिशन की बात कर रहे हैं, ये सरकार की बात कर रहे हैं.
मैं किसी सरकार, मैंने कोई भी पार्टी और इसके बारे में बात नहीं कर रहा. मैं खुद के बारे में बात कर रहा हूँ कि मेरा क्या होगा.
आप कह रहे हैं कि आपका नुकसान हुआ.
मेरा जैसा आदमी का क्या होगा?
He is saying his own personal situation has gone down.
Sir, that is his individual opinion. But above all, there are so many progresses.
आपका बस एक ही इश्यू है, एलपीजी और पेट्रोल के दाम कम करने हैं.
नहीं, एलपीजी पेट्रोल नहीं, और भी बहुत कुछ है ना. आज मीठा तेल तो 60 रुपया था, 110 रुपये में बिक रहा है, 150 में बिक रहा है. वो कौन बोलेगा आपको? हाँ,
फिर कम जाएगा.
अरे कैसे कम जाएगा यार? कोई चीज बढ़ के आज तक घटा है क्या?
उसमें क्या है? कुछ पाने का लिए कुछ तो खोना पड़ेगा. कुछ पाने का लिए कुछ खोना पड़ेगा. फिर कम.
अरे तो खो तो हम ही लोग रहा है, पा तो वो लोग रहा है ना.
अच्छा, आप दोनों दोस्त है ना?
हाँ,
अरे मैं देख रहा था साथ में तुम लोग बाइक पे जा रहा और यहाँ झगड़ा कर रहा एक दूसरे से. झगड़ा डिबेट है. थैंक यू, गुड डिबेट.
थैंक यू,
ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट.
हम लोग फुटबॉल खेल के आ रहा है.
अरे वेरी गुड, यू आर अ फुटबॉलर.
I am now 60 years old.
What position do you play at?
I am defensive.
Defensive.
Always
So
defensive.
defense
In battalion also defensive. Defensive.
इसलिए अपना सरकार को डिफेंस कर रहा है. हम अटैक करेगा, सीधा बात है.
डिफेंड नहीं कर रहा है.
अच्छा, तो डिफेंडर इज डिफेंडिंग द गवर्नमेंट और ये अटैकर है.
मोदी जी का गुणगान गा रहा है.
Okay, Mr. Defender, thank you very much. Mr. Attacker, thank you very much. You've given me plenty of food for thought, which is why it's time now for an early Assamese breakfast. Come with me. Okay, I've come to have breakfast with Kaushik Deka, who's India Today's correspondent and tracks the Northeast for the magazine. He knows the inside out of the state, and he's also promising me an authentic Assamese breakfast. Namaskar, thank you. Pranjal Saike is the owner of the restaurant. Hello. Thank you. This is a traditional Assamese way of greeting, is it? Oh, some supari. Thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome. And here's my friend Kaushik. How are you? Good to see you on your home turf. Yeah. Kaushik's a good Assamese sub-nationalist.
Thanks for that introduction.
That's one way to. He's very proud of his state, which is the way you should be. Yeah. This election in Assam is being pitched by some as a possible sort of Hindu versus Muslim, or is it indigenous Assamese versus the outsider immigrant, or is it about bread and butter or development? There are various narratives. Which is the narrative? Hindu-Muslim, religion, or is it about development?
I think primarily it will be Hindu-Muslim because as I have seen, the identity issue in Assam has long been played in during the election time. But this time what is interesting is that actually in 2016 also we saw that. Earlier it was Assamese identity versus the immigrants. So that used to be the main narrative. For the first time in 2016 and this time in an enhanced manner, we have seen that it has become Hindu versus Muslims. Because the immigrants most of them are definitely Bangladeshi immigrants, they are Muslims. So because of that, the BJP has been trying to make it Hindu versus Muslim. But at the same time, when they brought in Ka, because Assamese identity, the Citizenship Amendment Act, the Assamese, those who are in Assam, they do not see it as a religious issue. For them, anybody who has come from Bangladesh, whether he is a Hindu or a Muslim, they are immigrant, they are illegal immigrants, they should be deported. So what earlier was Assamese versus outsiders, and when I say outsiders, I make it non-Indian. That has slowly turned into, that has been turned into Hindu versus Muslims.
Pranjal, what have you got for us?
Here comes your Assamese breakfast.
Arre wow. This is your indigenous Assamese
indigenous. Yeah, and I can tell you this is very healthy.
King's breakfast. Sweet. So Kaushik, forget the sweetness of the food for a moment. Tell me about your politics, which is not so sweet. Are you seeing this as a divided election between lower and upper Assam? Lower Assam, Congress, AIUDF, Left Alliance, largely targeting Muslim-dominant constituencies. BJP targeting Assamese-speaking Hindus. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, there is a difference between Lower Assam and Upper Assam. As you know, the demography in Lower Assam, because of the immigration, mostly illegal, it has changed. In certain constituencies or districts, you would see a population growth rate of as high as 24%, which cannot be a normal population growth rate. So the demography has changed. So definitely Congress and AUDF will have an edge over there. In Upper Assam, it will be a contest between Congress, BJP. These two are the main prime rivals. But Congress, the edge that they would have, as I mentioned earlier, because of the Citizenship Amendment Act, the hesitation of Assamese people against that act, they have diluted that advantage because of their tie-up with AUDF.
Does that trouble you as an Assamese that this will create more and more divisions in Assam if religion becomes the dominant narrative of Assamese politics?
Certainly it troubles me because we Assamese, we were very proud about our secular credentials, and we never considered Muslim as an antithesis of Assamese, because if you go to an Assamese Muslim's house and if you go to a Hindu Assamese house, you cannot differentiate anything between the two.
A year ago, when we saw these Citizenship Amendment Act protests, we thought that was going to be a major issue. That Assamese were angry, they felt betrayed, they felt that this act would allow immigrants to come in from Bangladesh, Hindu immigrants, and that was against their sort of ideology. A year later, is Ka a big issue in this election or not? What has changed?
As I said, Ka would be a sentimental issue in Upper Assam in many parts among Assamese speakers, but that impact has been diluted because of COVID.
So Ka was overtaken by COVID management.
COVID management.
So if this election was held in 2020, before COVID, you think Ka would have been the biggest issue? Today it is less of an issue.
Yeah, that is true. But at the same time, when Congress tied up with AUDF, that killed Ka impact.
This is quite a meal, Chef.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Saikia. Okay, Kaushik, after a perfect Assamese breakfast, for which I am very grateful to you and Mr. Saikia, it's time to hit the road.
Sure.
Full breakfast, sweetened breakfast, as they call it. Let's hit the road.
And we'll have a sweet trip.
And we'll have a sweet trip as we travel through Dibrugarh. Okay, now our first stop on our campaign trail is here at the heavily fortified residence of the Chief Minister of Assam. Sarbanand Sonowal was once with the AGP, but the quiet, unassuming leader joined the BJP and then became Chief Minister in 2016. Then he was actively projected by the BJP as their Chief Ministerial candidate. This time, the BJP has left the Chief Minister's issue rather more open-ended. What does that mean? Let's find out from Mr. Sonowal. Come with me. Hi, sir. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
All set to become a two-time Chief Minister or not?
Look, this is a question to be asked to our parliamentary vote rather than asking me.
Why I'm asking you this question, 2016 you were projected as Chief Minister.
Yeah.
This time party has not projected anyone.
yeah.
This is leading to speculation. Who will be Chief Minister if the BJP wins? Sarbanand Sonowal, could it be Hemanta Biswa Sarma, someone else?
You need not have to worry. Party is always clear in this aspect. Our main intention is to bring BJP back to power.
5 years ago, you came to power against anti-incumbency against Congress, against Mr. Gogai's government. Now you have had 5 years of rule. What is the issue? Is it development?
Yeah,
is it religious politics, Hindu versus Muslim,
no.
Assamese versus outsiders?
No. Our policy is very clear to take everybody along. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Biswas.
I want to ask you one question though. In Dibrugarh, for example, flood control is a big issue. I was here a couple of years ago when it was flooded. The whole city was underwater.
Yeah.
You are from Dibrugarh. What are you going to do about these real issues?
No, we are taking up very seriously. It is now on the top of the priority agenda in the nation. Honorable Prime Minister has constituted a committee under the leadership of chairmanship of Vice Chairman Niti Aayog, and taking one member from each of the state of entire northern region. So this is the first time that at the level of Prime Minister, initiative has been taken to prepare a detailed project report to tackle these years-long issues, recurring issue,
So this will,
erosion and landslide of Assam and North.
are you telling me if I come couple of years from now, these issues will be resolved? Because these are issues, these are the real issues, not Hindu versus Muslim.
No, these are the national calamities, but we are now fighting. And you know, in the last 5 years, you know how many embankment we have constructed.
No, you say that, and Hemanta Biswa Sarma plays the politics of Hindu-Muslim, says, warns, agar Congress aayega to Badruddin Ajmal banega. You don't play that politics.
No, we are all working together. We are in the same boat, brother, that's all.
You're same boat.
Yeah.
You and Hemanta Biswa, same boat.
Of course. That's why we have performed well. It is a Team Assam under the leadership of Team India, Narendra Modi ji.
Thank you very much,
you.
Sarbanand ji, for speaking to us.
Thank you.
We'll see whether you're the Chief Minister again for a second time or not. But thank you.
Okay, thank
Let's move on. While the BJP is not short of confidence or resources in this Assam election, the Congress has faced a rough ride in recent times in its one-time bastion. Last year, its former three-time Chief Minister Tarun Gogoi passed away, leaving a clear leadership void. The Congress, though, is hoping that its strategic alliance with the AIUDF in Lower Assam and possible anti-incumbency in Upper Assam gives it a fighting chance this time. The party also has its Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel for campaign management and has roped in Priyanka Gandhi Vadra as a star campaigner. We've come here to see how Priyanka fares in Nazira, about 70 kilometers away from Dibrugarh. Let's find out. Gandhi Vadra, this is your second visit to Assam in 2 weeks. Do you really think the Congress has a fighting chance in this state?
Absolutely. The Congress is fighting a very strong and united battle, not just against the BJP's government here, but against their ideology, against the fact that there is an assault on Assam's identity. And it has taken place in the last 5 years with great effect. And the people of Assam recognize this, they see it, and the fight that we are fighting really, it's not the Congress party's fight, it is the fight of the people of Assam.
The reason I'm asking you this, in the last few years, the Congress has struggled in Assam. So what has suddenly changed for you to get this confidence?
Well, look, people 5 years ago wanted to give the BJP a chance, they gave it. They believed in the promises that the BJP made, as I enumerated these promises while I was speaking. But which of these promises have they kept? So at the end of the day, people are not foolish. People are wise. Yes, when they think that somebody is coming with a new hope, they have faith in that. They want to try it. Now they've tried it. They've seen that none of these leaders were here when there were floods. None of them came. Nobody came and cried over Assam. Nobody even came to hear the voice of Assam when CAA was implemented.
It's a question in Assam which is being asked that the BJP says the Congress has tied up with the AIDF.
The BJP's entire effort in any election is to polarize. And especially when they have no ground to stand on. When they have done no work here in the last 5 years, they have not proved themselves in terms of development, they have not proved themselves in terms of economy, they have not proved themselves in terms of jobs. What's the only thing left? The only thing left is to rely on polarization to win the election.
Can I ask you that, is this a make or break election for the Congress? Because May 2nd, 5 states, that if you all don't win, the Congress could break, there could be a... How important is this election, not just in Assam, but these 5 elections?
Look, this is something that is said about the Congress party in every election. Make or break, the Congress will disintegrate. The Congress is there. The Congress is not going anywhere. The Congress is not going anywhere. The Congress is not the Gandhi family. The Congress is an idea. The Congress is an idea on which India was built. The Gandhi family is irrelevant. It can be this family, this leader, that leader. It is the idea that is alive. And the idea will remain alive, and the Congress party will embody that idea as long as it exists.
Tough election for you. Your father isn't there, 3-time chief minister. Is that a big concern, the lack of leadership that the Congress has versus the BJP?
I think my father's passing away is not only a loss for my party but for the entire state. The state is going through a very turbulent economic times, and we all would have benefited from his experience and wisdom irrespective of whichever party we belong to. But nonetheless, even in Congress party, we do feel his loss. But his words, his dreams for Assam and his values continues to inspire us.
Your shoes, are they big enough to fill that of your father?
Not at all. I think he leaves a huge vacuum, and then we all have to work harder. But he is a guiding light. He is a lighthouse. He is a beacon of inspiration.
You want to give a message to your friend Himanta Biswa Sarma, who's leading the BJP campaign?
See, I think he's an expert in in identifying the winds of change when it comes to political power. So I'm sure at some point he'll be calling us.
Okay. Thank you very much, Gaurav. Okay, away from the heat and dust of the election campaign, we've decided to take a bit of a lunch break. Not just because the show is Elections on My Plate, but because I want to discover a bit of a Assamese dhaba along the highway as we head back to Dibrugarh. Let's try and find one. Hello, madam, how are you? I was recommended your restaurant by someone in Nazira. They said you serve very good Assamese food.
Yeah, we ourselves do the cooking.
Acha, you do the cooking yourself? Yeah. Great. And what is the classic Assamese lunch thali?
Thali, we serve tupula bhat. That's steamed rice wrapped in like leaf.
And non-veg?
Non-veg we serve like, except beef, we serve like most of the things.
Pork?
Yeah, pork.
Lovely. I believe pork is very famous in these parts.
We serve pork with bamboo shoot. It's both boiled, it's boiled, and we use no oil.
Lovely. So pork in bamboo shoots and fish?
Fish also in bamboo shoots.
Lovely. So bamboo shoots is the flavor. Come on, ma'am. Let's try it out. An Assamese thali on the highway. Jui Hal, the ethnic kitchen. Jui is fire.
Jui Hal is the fireplace.
Fireplace. Okay. Sounds good. Come with me, ma'am. Now explain to me what is what. This is my sticky rice. Steamed rice.
Yeah, it's steamed sticky rice.
Steamed sticky rice. This is the
Pork boiled gravy with herbs.
pork boiled gravy with herbs. This is the dried pork,
Dried
with,
pork with bamboo
bamboo shoots. This is a stew.
Just two, like we have pumpkin leaves
Okay.
and then rice powder
Okay.
and papaya.
Okay, lovely. This is
This is the
some dal.
These are fish from River Brahmaputra.
Fish from the mighty Brahmaputra. What more can a man ask for? Wonderful.
And then
Lovely.
bamboo shoots are from Arunachal.
Bamboo shoots are from Arunachal. Okay, so you're giving me a flavor of all, and that's the veggies.
That is, like these are bamboo flowers.
Okay, one of my camera persons is veggie. Now I can't help that.
And
Okay.
then mashed fish.
Mashed fish. Ah, you've got the fish chutney. We have something similar in Goa. Interesting.
This is bangana pickle.
Like a fish pickle.
Mashed like a brinjal.
Ah, brinjal.
Yeah,
Ah,
and
nice.
then these are roasted.
And this?
These are oil cake, like mustard oil.
Mustard oil. Okay. Green chutney. No masala is used, you said, in the food.
Only herbs.
Only herbs. So it's healthy food. I'm ready with this Assamese thali. Thank you so much, ma'am. Wonderful. Looks terrific. And then I'm going to head back to Dibrugarh to get more people's voices. But for now, elections are on my plate. Okay, my travels in and around Dibrugarh have brought me to Dibrugarh University, and the reason for that is that youth politics have traditionally played an important role in Assam. Remember the 1980s when a 32-year-old Prafulla Mohanta became a chief minister, riding the wave of Assamese sub-nationalism directed against immigrants. He was then a student leader. Now, those days of student foment are perhaps well behind us, but clearly, in a sense, Generation Next of Assam will matter in any election. So let's find out what Generation Next has to say. Come with me. Hello, everybody. How are y'all? Hi, everybody. How are you? Arey, wow, what a nice gathering of young voices of Assam. All set? First time voters? Second time? So you voted in the 2019 Lok Sabha also? Yes, sir. Very good. I'm going to start with the girls. What is this division between the girls and boys? I'm going to start with the women here first. Please tell me, what are the big issues for you as young Assamese? What are the issues for you in this election? The most important thing?
I feel that the amendment bill, which has been like... And I feel that...
Ka is a big issue for you?
Yes, sir.
Why are you troubled about Ka? What is it about Ka that troubles you?
Actually, we are more worried about the Assamese identity or the ethnicity which might be at stake.
You're worried about Assamese identity. What does Assamese identity mean? Are you worried about outsiders coming in? I mean, what do you mean? Do you want no immigrants into Assam?
No, sir. Actually, we already have an accord, and there was a time when the Assamese people have struggled a lot. So I don't think the Ka is a good option for Assam right now.
What is it about Ka that is worrying you?
Because, sir, the number of Assamese-speaking people has been in the decrease since 1980s, since the Assam Andolan. We did, our parents generation did the Assam Andolan, but it led
to violence. I mean, you remember what happened during the days of the Ulfa here. You don't want to repeat all that, surely?
For sure, we don't want to repeat all this, but also we oppose Ka.
Will you vote for, on the basis of Ka? Do you think that the BJP has made a mistake by bringing in Ka?
Yes, they made a mistake by bringing in Ka, but I don't think when people will go to vote, they will think that much about Ka.
What will they think of? What will you think? But you will think of Ka.
I'll think about Ka.
So you may actually think of voting for the Congress because the Congress has said we will repeal. No, you won't vote for the Congress.
We don't want National Party.
Actually, the real issues are not being admitted, sir.
What are the real issues?
Sir, with this, what called dam, where they were blocking all the, what called NHPC, a big dam which is being constructed in the area of Gogamukh, in Gerukamukh.
Because every year there is flood, you have a problem of floods.
Exactly, sir.
Every year Dibrugarh is underwater.
Yes.
Nobody talks about those issues, right?
Yes, during this election time, we can see that Narendra Modi, Mr. Narendra Modi or Amit Shah is coming for 5 times or 6 times for election purposes. But during flood, where were they? They weren't here. They didn't do anything for our people.
But who came? Who came? Which any national leaders came?
No national party. No
national party came.
Only the people who created the regional party, they were there at the time.
One of the real issues of obviously which I ask young people across is jobs. Are you all worried about that, about your future? Is that a big issue?
Yes, sir.
Are you confident that jobs will be there? Are there enough jobs for young people, or do you want to leave Dibrugarh and go to Delhi? Huh?
We will want to leave.
You want to leave Dibrugarh? You don't want to live in Assam?
Actually, the subject we are pursuing, there's not much scope.
What do you do?
I am from journalism, but my specialism is in PR. So
Okay.
there's not much scope here.
So are the young looking for change? Are you looking for new leaders, a new political party to emerge? You want a, do you see that happening in this election, or it will happen out?
It will take time. It will take time.
But you see the emergence one day of a... Huh?
Yes, but the party which are regional party, which are like AJP or Aizordol, they are doing a great job. They will do a great job.
So an Akhil Gogoi of the Royjor Dal, you...
Or Luin Jyoti Gogoi, they will do a tremendous job.
Interesting. So all of you would prefer a regional party to a national party?
Yes, sir.
For the time being, yes? I thought all of you would be either Rahul Gandhi or Narendra Modi. No Narendra Modi, no Rahul Gandhi.
No, sir.
Very interesting. I won't hear that in too many parts of the country. Younger Assamese are saying they want a regional party. Remember, the Royjor Dal and the Assam Jatiya Party have tied together, providing, they hope, a third alternative. They may not have the strength in this election, but these voices are certainly voices of change. Interesting. Now, one thing hasn't changed in your part of the world, which is tea. And I'm going to go to the tea workers in a moment. Come with me. Okay, now remember, Dibrugarh is the tea capital of Assam, and some would say of the country. Assam produces 51% of the total tea production in the country. Tea wages, wages for tea workers, and the concerns of tea workers, with about several thousand in every constituency, are naturally a major election issue. How is the world of tea or chai doing in election season? Let's try and find out. Come with me. How are you, Mr. Jalan? Good to see you.
Nice to meet you. It's so nice to meet you.
So this is what was once your grand tea estate, or is still part of the large tea estate that you own? What, 1,000 acres?
This used to be a 1,000-acre tea estate at one time, but as you can see, this is not in the best of the state because of continuous waterlogging and flooding.
Is the tea industry in a crisis, as I'm told, more and more people finding it more and more difficult?
We are at a non-level playing field. We have two verticals, and both are equal. That is the STG sector and the...
What is STG? The small tea growers?
Small tea growers.
So you have small tea growers and you have the large estates?
And the large estates.
And there's no level playing field?
No, there's no level playing field, only in one aspect, which is the wages. The small tea growers will always be a cost-effective model because they have less overheads and they only sell the leaves. So they are protected from many other extra expenses, unlike us. But my point is only confined to the wages. Because the plucker that you see who are plucking here, the same pluckers pluck there also.
How much do you pay them?
The cash wage here today, after the government has increased, which is yet to be put into effect, will be 217.
At the moment, it's 167
167
rupees, which the BJP government here has promised to increase to 217.
17, the notification has come also.
But the Congress is promising to increase it to 365 in this election. So, I mean, you know, how does this work? The economics of this, of these wages.
Now, you see, 365 and 350, whatever the political parties may say, they actually mean the total earnings.
Now, why has this become such a big issue? That, you know, the Congress is promising 365 rupees daily wage. The BJP increased 167 to 217. Obviously, somewhere, people want cash in hand.
You want cash in hand, but nobody has bothered to ask the workers themselves, what do they want?
Okay, let's go and meet some of the workers. Thanks very much. कितना मिलता है
हम लोग के?
हाँ।
अभी हम लोग को मिलता है 1700।
1700 महीना में?
नहीं, 15 में।
15 दिन 1700 रुपए, 1700 rupees for 15 days. हर 15 दिन 1700 रुपए मिलता है. उसमें काम चल जाता है घर का?
कहाँ चलता, कम तलब है ना, कहाँ से चलता है? नहीं चलता, नहीं चलता है। 2 लड़की है, बेटा है,
हाँ।
नाती है,
हाँ।
नातनी है, पढ़ाता है।
हाँ।
लड़की बीए पढ़ा है।
अच्छा, लड़की बीए पढ़ा है, क्या करेगा लड़की, क्या करने है?
नाच में ट्रेनिंग दिया है, पैसा दे के।
किधर?
पैसा दे दिया है सीखने के लिए। नाच।
ट्रेनिंग? ट्रेनिंग करेगा, किसमें ट्रेनिंग?
मैं
नर्स ट्रेनिंग करेगा, वेरी गुड। हर 15 दिन 1700 मिलता है ना? कम पड़ता है, कैसा करता है, गुजारा हो जाता है घर का?
हो जाता, थोड़ा बहुत उधार दिन होता है ना सबके।
उधार लेना पड़ता है।
हाँ।
तुम्हारा बच्चा कितना है? 4 बच्चा है, क्या करता है?
2 शादी हो गया, 2 छोटा छोटा है।
गुजारा हो जाता है 1700 में 15 दिन में?
हो जाता है। हमारा पति भी काम करता है बाहर।
पति भी करता है, क्या करता है?
बाहर में हाजरा काम करता है।
आज तो पगार मिलेगा, क्या करेगा 1700 रुपए के साथ?
दरमा दिन हम लोग का मुख सुखाया जाता है, दुकान में देगा ना, खर्चा उठाएगा ना, खुचरा सामान मांग से लेता है।
तो 1700 रुपए एक दिन में खत्म हो जाएगा?
बाप रे, 1600 तो हम लोग 1600 सब दुकान में धार हो जाता है।
1700 रुपया तो एक दिन के बाजार है। कहाँ
एक दिन का बाजार?
अब बच्चा को स्कूल पढ़ाने आता, कपड़ा लाता, दुकान में धार ऋण ये सब लगता है ना।
Tea tasting time. Mrityunjay, the next generation of the Jalans is here. Young Mrityunjay from Singapore to Dibrugarh. You're going to tell me the mechanics of tea tasting.
So, it takes years for people to master tea tasting, but if I could tell you in very short, there are 3 things which we look at. Firstly, the appearance of the tea. So this is the tea that has come out from the dryer.
Okay.
So your green leaf has been converted into the tea that you're familiar with, that you have at home.
So the darker the better?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
It has to have a shine to it.
Shine, okay.
Right. So that's, in tea terms, it's called the bloom.
Okay.
So if you, a tea taster would check for how good the bloom is on the tea, whether it's clean, whether there are fibers or not.
Okay.
So this would be the first step.
Okay.
The second step would be to look at the infusion, which is the remnants of the tea once it's brewed.
Okay.
So this is very important to see how fresh the tea is, and also to see the quality of tea.
Okay.
So
strong.
Right.
Strong tea.
And the last, but the most important, is the liquor, which we call the mate tea. So in tea terms, it's called the liquor.
Okay.
And you go ahead and taste it, and you see whether it has the briskness, it has the right amount of strength, or whether it meets the flavor profile that you're wanting to achieve.
So how do you tell between a not so good tea and a great tea?
I think it takes years of experience of tasting hundreds of cups per day.
Can I try this?
Sure. Take a big sip.
Big sip?
You should be able to make that noise, a slurpy noise.
Oh, God.
The louder, the better.
I'm not a great slurper.
So it would be more like...
Okay. Dekho, this is the difference between an original tea taster and an amateur one. Okay. But, so is this good? Are you happy?
For the time of the year, yes.
For the time, what's peak season?
May, June, July.
May, June, July.
That would be the second flush, and the best quality of Assam tea would come during those months.
Thanks very much, Mrityunjay, and all the very best with tea tasting. Let me try that slurp again once. Slurp, you said.
Yes.
Slurp, Mr. Sardesai, slurp.
Yeah, better.
Almost got there. Almost. Budappa aa gaya hai. Let's go. More sights and sounds of Assam. Come with me. You're with elections on my plate, coming to you from Dibrugarh in Assam. Now, this election in Assam is not just Congress versus BJP, but there is also a battle. Kaun banega Mukhyamantri? Who will be Chief Minister? Because all eyes in Assam are on the BJP star face. And we're not talking about Narendra Modi or Amit Shah here. We are talking about Hemanta Biswa Sarma, now widely seen as the big boss of the BJP in the northeast. Will Hemanta become the Chief Minister of Assam if the BJP wins? What's his strategy? Let's try and find out with Assam's man of the moment. crowd to meet the man of the moment here in Assam. These kind of excited crowds, I know that you are, am I talking to the next Chief Minister of Assam?
You are talking to an ordinary Karyakarta of BJP.
No, because there's a general belief that many of the candidates in this election have been chosen by you.
Party. By the party, not by me.
You're not the Chief Ministerial candidate.
In this election, we are fighting collectively.
So this talk about Hemanto's ambition of becoming Chief Minister?
We are talking of defeating Congress and UDF.
But you wanted to be CM, that's why you left the Congress.
That is not the issue. That is a wrong interpretation.
Are you committed to CAA still?
Yeah.
You are?
Already Parliament has passed CAA.
No, suppose, because the Congress has made it clear, if they get elected, they will scrap CAA.
They have to get elected in Parliament.
No, but the thing is the people of Assam don't want CAA.
People of Assam are now talking because CAA is a fait accompli. People of Assam are politically conscious. They know whatever Parliament has decided, it is decided.
You know, Hemanta Da, you keep saying civilizational conflict. As a result, is it becoming lower Assam with the Congress, AIUDF, and your focus is on upper Assam?
We'll sweep entire Assam.
No, lower Assam, the AIUDF, Congress has the numbers.
There are 32 seats where we will not win.
Yes.
That I admit that I will not win in that 32 seat.
The fact that the AIUDF, Congress, left board of parties have all come together doesn't... Everybody says the election is getting tighter by the day.
Nothing tighter. You just see in my nomination, 2 lakhs people were there.
That comes back to it. You are, in a sense, a star figure of your own. I will ask you one last time. On the 2nd of May, if you win a majority, will Hemanta Biswa Sarma again serve under a Sonowal government, come to Delhi? What will you do?
It is for the Prime Minister and Naddaji to take a call. It is not for us to discuss this.
So you're not ruling it out?
It is absolutely their prerogative.
Okay, Hemanta Biswa Sarma, I can see the Chanakya-like smile there. The strategist in you, yes? No?
Let us win this election.
Okay, thank you very much, Hemanta Biswa Sarma. Okay, we are going to slip out of the crowds that have assembled here on Hemanta Biswa Sarma's Padayatra through Dibrugarh to go to somewhere more serene. This is the land of that great river Brahmaputra. Let's go back there and discuss what lies ahead for the people of Assam in this election. Come with me. Okay, we've come away from the heat of the election campaign to a rather pleasant, chilly evening by the banks of the great Brahmaputra, to the only floating restaurant in the northeast. And that's where I'm going to meet a group of citizens of Dibrugarh. I met them several years ago, and I want to find out from them how they see the future of this part of India, of Assam, and indeed these elections. My friend, guitarist, little bit of music. What's your name?
My name is Bornil Vivek.
I hope you like my gamocha. Is that right? Gamosha.
Yes. Gamosa.
Gamosa. I'm in my gamosa. You want to play a song for me?
Yes, sure. एक अजनबी
अरे वाह हसीना से यूं मुलाकात हो गई फिर क्या हुआ ये ना पूछो ऐसी बात हो गई. How did you know that my favorite singer is Kishore Kumar and my favorite actress was Zeenat Aman? You have made my day by singing this song. Thank you very much, young man.
Welcome. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Okay, let's hit the boat. There everyone. Hi, how are you all? Good to see the brightest and the best of Dibrugarh here. Okay, folks, I'm going to ask you a contentious issue which is a central theme through this program in a way. What is this election in Assam about? Religious polarization, cultural identity, beneficiary politics, or just pure development?
I think it is all of them, all of that is there, but I would sort of, list it like this. Beneficiary politics, religious divide, and identity crisis, and development.
So all these issues are there.
All
It's
these
not as if this is a single issue election.
No, not at all.
Because there is this talk of a cultural identity. The Assamese identity, in a sense, is under threat. Immigration over the years has threatened the identity. Why?
First of all, if Bangladeshi migrant workers are not here, we will die of hunger. Our poultry production, our agriculture, everything, they are looking after.
So you had no issues with Bangladeshi immigration?
Legal citizens, we have no issues. Illegal, how they are entering India?
So what does development mean? Is it difficult to do business in Assam?
No, it has become very easy over the time.
So you think that there is signs of change there are signs of change?
Definitely.
But why is it then at election time I hear the rhetoric that Congress has tied up with Badruddin Ajmal? Look at the Congress, it has become a Muslim party. Why don't people talk about the issues of development at election time, Gaurav?
This is because, this is all about party politics, it's not about service to the people. They want to rise in power.
There is a sense of anger against immigration that has taken place over the last 20, 30 years.
Yes, it
So is cultural identity a feeling that the Assamese identity is under threat?
It is. And
There's a real sense of that?
There's a real sense of that,
But has that been converted into Hindu versus Muslim somewhere? When you make Badruddin Ajmal an enemy figure?
I don't think so. It has its unique identity.
As someone just said, you wouldn't be able to run. You need immigration, isn't it? At one level, you don't need illegal immigration.
We don't want illegal immigration.
You don't want illegal immigration.
We don't need illegal immigration. Give them work permits. Give them work permits. Let them work. It's okay.
But are you all against the Citizenship Amendment Act?
Yes.
Why? Why?
Because we don't want illegal immigrants to be settled down in Assam.
But what are you afraid of?
No, because if they come, it will be a threat to our cultural identity.
Till the time the Assamese identity is protected, that is clause 6 of Assam Accord, till the time we don't have any problem from the immigrants, but it is on the verge of threat in Assam.
Okay, we are coming under the Bogeybill Bridge. As I said, this bridge was, the first stone was laid by Devagowda in the mid-1990s. And finally, the bridge is a reality. And as someone just said, Assam needs more such infrastructure projects. I see food is coming on the table. It's elections on my plate. What is an Assamese snack? Not chips.
This is a pakoda.
Pakoda?
This is the chips, as you know.
Okay, pakoda Assamese style. Are you finding opportunities in Assam today or in Dibrugarh? Or do you believe young Assamese are forced to now today go to the big cities for opportunities?
Exactly, so that is my point. So I being a student, being a young woman, I want to do something out here. But no, whenever I think of something, we always think let's go and settle in Delhi or Bombay or something, because we don't have ample opportunities here.
ये मुझे बताओ, चुनाव कौन जीतेगा आखिर में?
Undoubtedly BJP. I would say let the best man win.
What about these new smaller parties like the Raijor Dal and the Assam Jatiya Parishad? Do you see them as a future?
Our party is only 3 months old. The amount of love and respect our political party is getting, in 2026, the regional sentiment will come into Assam, and this regional sentiment is necessary in a federal country like India.
Okay, in conclusion, what's the best thing about Assam?
We accept people from all over the world to become citizens of our state.
Well, what's the best thing about living in Assam? You have been very quiet. You're very hospitable. That's right. Where is my musician friend? You're going to sing that song for me, right? Since we are at on the Brahmaputra, you've got to start by singing a Bhupen Hazarika song. Go for it.
অসংখ্য জনৰে হাহাকাৰ শুনিও নিশব্দে নীৰৱে বুঢ়ালৈ তুমি বুঢ়ালৈ বুৱা কিয় বিস্তীৰ্ণ পাৰৰে অসংখ্য জনৰে হাহাকাৰ শুনিও নিশব্দে নীৰৱে বুঢ়ালৈ তুমি বুঢ়ালৈ বুৱা কিয়.
Lovely. That's wonderful. And I think they deserve a very big hand. And if you can have Bhupen Hazarika by the banks of the Brahmaputra, what more can you ask for? The great singer of this lovely state. And what Assam therefore needs is perhaps bridge builders. Those who can rise above conflict and help build a new Assam. Whoever wins, the challenge for Assam is to have bridge builders like this lovely bridge behind me. Thanks for watching. This was Elections on My Plate. Thank you and bye.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.